Okay, this little video here is a little study guide, reminder of ideas that you will be called upon to answer for the test. First thing we need to do is we need to go how to do certain conversions between fractions, decimals, and percents. If I want to go between fractions and decimals, say I'm given 3/4, this is how I do it. I divide. So I'm going to divide 4 by 3. 4 goes into 3 0 times. So now I have to go over one more, put down decimal point, bring it up, add a 0. How many 4s go into 30? Well, 7 go into 30. 7 times 4 is 28. 30 minus 28 is 2. I can add another 0, bring it down. How many 4s go into 20? 5. 5 times 4 is 20. 20 minus 20 is 0. So 3/4 is equal to 0 and 75/100ths. If I want to go between a decimal and a fraction, say I'm given this decimal here, if I can say it accurately, write what I say, then reduce. So how would I say this? 0 and 28/100ths. Well, how would I write 28/100ths? I'd write 28/100ths. And then I ask the question, can I reduce this? Yes, I can divide both of these by 4, top and bottom. And when I do that, I get 7 over 25. So 28/100ths as a decimal is equal to 7 7/25 as a fraction. If I want to go next, if I want to go between a percent and a decimal, all I need to do is I need to shift the decimal 2 positions, 2 places to the left. That's the same as dividing by 100. So I have 3, the decimal point 5. I'm going to go over 2 places, 1, 2. When I do that, I'm going to have, I'll put in a 0 here and a 0 here. I have 0 and 0, 3, 5. So 3.5% is the same as 0 decimal 035, or 0 and 35 thousandths in that case. From a decimal to a percent, I'm going to shift the decimal 2 places to the right. So if I start off with my decimal point here, I'm going to shift over, let's see, let me copy it again. 1, 2, that's my new decimal point location, 27.4%, or 27.4%. If I want to go between a percent and a fraction, I'm going to write the value over 100 and reduce if I can. So 48, because percent literally means out of 100. So this is 48 out of 100. Can I simplify yet this? Yes, if I can divide both by 4, that becomes 12 over 25. Can I reduce any more? No. So 48% is the same as 12/25. One more conversion here, going between a fraction and a percent. There's kind of 2 answers here. The first one, what happens is when we have an easy fraction, I want to rewrite the fraction so I have 100 in the denominator. So can I make it look like this? Yes, I can by multiplying top and bottom by 4. 25 times 4 is 100. 13 times 4 is 52. So 13/25 is equal to 52%. The other case, that's not so nice. So here was the first one. This is the nice example. A percent means out of 100, so we can simply take this part here and write it as a percent. Is when you have something like this. I may not know how to take a number and multiply it to get to 100 right away, but I can always do the division and go through the decimal. So if I do 3 divided by 8, how many 8's can I get out of 3? 0. Put down decimal, bring it up. Add a 0. How many 8's can I get out of 30? I can get 3. 3 times 8 is 24. 30 minus 24 is 6. I can add another 0 and bring it down. How many 8 do I get at 60? Well, I get 7. 7 times 8 is 56. 60 minus 56 is 4. I bring it 0 down. How many 8s can I get out of 40? I can get 5. 5 times 8 is 40. I'm at the end there. So I know that 3/8 is equal to this decimal value right there. So there are the 6 different conversions you have to know between decimal, fraction, percent. So what else might you have to know? Well, one thing you might have to know is how to calculate, excuse me, let me get something here. You might have to calculate a tax or a tip. So if I give you a dinner bill of $32 and I tell you that the tax rate on the bill is 15%, the first thing I can do is, well, how do I find the amount of tax? Well, it's going to be 15% of $32, which is a multiplication problem. So 15% of $32. If I plug that in here, so 15 hundredths times 32. Of course, since it's money, we don't end money at tenths, we end at the hundredths. So that's how much the tax is. Now, if I asked you, though, how much is the total bill? So what's the amount of the total bill? Well, the total bill is going to be the dinner plus the tax. In this case, it's going to be 32 plus 480. Forgive my writing there. And so the total bill is going to be $36.80. We could have a similar kind of calculation with markup. If I gave you a markup problem, and I tell you, you buy, I don't know, say you buy skateboards at $56, and you have a markup of 24%, I first need to find out what is 24% of $56. And that is going to be 0.24 times 56, 24 hundredths times 56. If I do that, I have decimal, decimal 24 times 56. If I wanted to put in the money, I could do that. So that right here is going to be $13.44. So this is the markup. This is the amount I'm going to add to what I paid. And so my retail price is going to be what I paid, the $56, sometimes called the wholesale price, plus the markup. And that's going to come in at $69.44. So there's markup. Notice it's the same thing though. It's a portion of an initial amount. And then we can also ask, in this case, what's the total bill? We'd have to add the initial amount. Here we'd have to add the initial amount in order to get the retail price we pay. Okay, you could also be asked about discount, which is the same thing as a markup, except then we're going to subtract. So if we do a discount, and it was the same item here, say we're buying skateboards, we're selling them at 56, and we're going to sell for a 24% discount. If my retail price was 56, the 24% of 56 is still the same, but this time I would have my retail price, I'd have the price minus the $13.44. Hope that's clear. I'm selling things at 56, and hey, let's have a sale for 24% off. So the numbers would be the same, but this time the sale price is going to be what I'm selling it for minus my discount. This is my discount. I'm saying this is what I'm selling them at. So this is completely different from this situation here. It's not the situation. So if I do that, and I do 56 minus 13, minus the $13.44, and then this is saying the sale price would be $42.56. That's my sale price. So these are two different situations. I just happen to be using this value here for my retail price, my selling price, and subtracting from it. Here, this is my wholesale price, and I'm marking it up, and this is what I'm adding. Another topic that you're going to have to know is percent change. Remember, percent change tries to describe, it describes using percentages how much an original amount either increases or decreases. For example, if I had a $4 item and it increased to $15, say it's the price of a stock, I could ask, how much did the stock increase? Well, the formula that we used was there's the amount of change divided by the starting amount. So it's all relative to where we started. In this case, we're starting at 4 and going to 15. Sometimes this is also described as the change over the original amount. Different words for the same meaning. So in this case, the difference is 15 subtract 4, but my starting amount is 4. So on top, I have 11 over 4, and if I came into my calculator and I do 11 divided by 4, what kind of a number do I get there? I get 2 and 75 hundredths. So what is this as a decimal? So I go from a decimal to a percent. I just move it over 2 spots. So this is a 275% increase. Notice I put the direction of the change. So this is the percent increase. Okay, but let's say I bought some stock at $15 and the value plummeted and now it's only selling at $4. The change is the same, right? But the starting point is different. So now I have 15 minus 4, but now I'm going to be starting at 15 rather than 4. So I still have 11 over. Now I have 11 over 15, and when I put 11 over 15 in, 11 divided by 15, I get what looks like 0.73, and I will stop at the hundredths position in this case. So what's this as a decimal, as a percentage? Well, I'm going to move the decimal point over 2 places, and this is a 73% decrease. You don't want that to happen to your stock. So there's the different fraction decimals percents. There's the tax, and the discount, and the markup. There's percent change, excuse me here. One last thing that you're going to need to know is simple interest. Remember with simple interest, there's 2 things to keep in mind. Well, the formula that they used is interest is equal to the principal times the rate times the time. So this is my interest. This is my principal. It's like my starting amount. It's like the bill. So this is my principal. This is the rate. And the rate is always, it's described as a percentage, but we use decimals when we go to calculate it. And then there's time. And time is always measured in years. So if I give you a principal of $500, I could ask you, given a principal of $500, and I put it in the bank at 5% interest, 5% would be 0.05. For 3 years, how much interest would I earn? I could do that calculation. I found out the interest. You can be asked, though, what would be the interest, or what would be the principal based on interest? So if I told you that you had earned $48 interest over, say, over 2 years, let's go T time, 2 years, and the principal you started off with was $800. I mean to put P there, not a number. And I told you the principal was $800. I could ask, what's the rate? In this case, I'm going to have to rewrite my formula so that I have the rate. And so in this case, R is going to be equal to, so if I want this for R, I'm going to have to divide it by P and T, both sides. So that means interest divided by principal and time. If I want to know how long something would be, I would divide the interest by the principal and the rate. And of course, if I know how much I deposit was my original principal, I'd have to divide the interest by the rate and the time. So with this one formula, you can answer all these questions. You just have to pay attention to how they're giving you the information. I hope this helps. Study hard, and I know you will do awesome.